Hello and welcome to the first video on algebra, and what we're going to cover today is just different things to do with expressions, what we call different things, and then we're going to just do a bit of substitution. Okay, so at the first we call x, x is our standard one, and what we usually have as the name for the variable. And what this variable means, it's also called a pronumeral. I'll just explain both of these. X can be any number, okay? If you look at, say, the number 3, 3 is always 3. It always represents 3 items, okay? That never changes, and so because it doesn't change, we call that a constant. It's always equal to 3, just like negative 27 is always equal to negative 27. It doesn't change, it's constant. X can be equal to anything. It could be equal to 3, it could be equal to negative 27, it could also be equal to negative 53 million. Okay, it's a variable, it changes, it varies. Okay, and the other word that it can sometimes be called is a pronumeral, and what that means is pro means instead of, and numeral means number, so it's instead of a number. Okay, so it's something that we use to represent a number, but we just don't know what the number is, so we just call it x. And it's a very powerful way of being able to solve lots and lots of problems and that sort of thing, as you might be well aware of, but you might not be as well. So just an example of something. Let's just have 5x minus 3y plus 6 equals 21 or something like that. And let's just name what these things are. Okay, so here we've got x and y. These are our variables. Okay, so any letters or anything like that. So we've got x and y and their variables. That's the first thing in here. What else do we have in this? Well, anything that's in front of a variable is called, and why did that not work? So I had to press green. Anything that's in front of a variable is called the coefficient. Okay, so let me just write that down. I'll write down the coefficient of x is just the number that's in front of x. What's the number in front of x? It's 5. It's 5 lots of x, 5 times x. So the coefficient of x is 5. And what's the coefficient of y? Well, it's the number that's in front of y, which is negative 3. Okay. So that's good. That's sort of a lot of things in here. We've also got this 6 here. And what did we say about the 6 before? So let's have a look at this. What did we call it's not a variable, it doesn't vary, it's constant. And so we just say 6 is a constant. Okay, like we set up here, it's a constant, it doesn't change. And so is 21. 21 is also a constant. Okay, and so we've got a bunch of things in here. Now, just some other things is that we've got, I'm just looking for a different colour. What haven't we done? How about yellow or something? Yellow might be a terrible colour, I'm sorry. Yeah, I might try for an orangey sort of gross thing. Can I try that? Okay, this here, this whole thing, that is called a term. Okay, also this whole thing here is called a term. In fact, it's all the things that are added together in an expression is called a term. Okay, so we've got a term plus a term plus a term equals a term. Okay, so it's all the things that are sort of added together. Term, 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 term. And I hope I can fit it on. I've been a little bit messy here and I apologise. But in purple, this whole thing here, all the terms when they're all added together and everything like that, that is called an expression. Okay, we're just expressing something, a quantity of something, in terms of algebraic quantities there. Okay, so I might just do just a couple of examples of that, just to sort of clarify. So let's go 3x minus x cubed on 7 plus 2. Let's just leave it at that. So firstly, let's write down what is the coefficient of x here. Coefficient of x is just the number that's in front of x. Now we're not talking about the x cubed, we're talking about the x here. Okay, So it would say x cubed if it was asking for that. So the number that's in front of x cubed, is just 3. Secondly, what if it asked for the coefficient of x cubed? Okay, so we're looking for what's the number that's in front of x cubed. Now this confuses a lot of people. What is that number in front of it? This one is 3 times x. So what's the number that's in front of x cubed here? Something times x cubed. And a lot of people are confused. Is it 7? Is it just -1? Well, what is it? Or is it 0? Like, people get confused. And if you remember that if you write, say, x over 2, what that means is x divided by 2, or it means half of x, like that. So in fact, if you had like x over 2, the coefficient would be a half. So it's a half of x. In this case, it's not a half, it's actually -1/7. Okay. The other way you could write that, you could write this as -1/7 of x cubed. Okay. So that, I'll just circle that. That there, exactly the same as that there. Okay. Fantastic. And that's pretty much all you sort of need to know about those things. We've got coefficients, constants, variables. That's pretty much all we need to do. Let's just talk about terms. How many terms does it have? How many terms does this expression have? Well, just look at all the things that are added together. We've got 1 here, we've got 2 there, and 3 there. So it's got 3 terms there added together. Okay, and what is the expression? Well, the expression here is just all of your stuff. The whole thing is an expression. So if you had to write down what is the expression here, it would be 3x minus x cubed on 7 plus 2. Okay, so hopefully that explains a bit about that. I might just do substitution on a different video. Keep it nice and short. Thank you.